Imagine your eyes as the windows to your world, capturing every sunrise, every smile, and every page of your favorite book. Now, picture a condition like macular degeneration creeping in, clouding that view, especially as you age. But what if you could nourish those precious windows with the right foods, support your body's stem cells, and even lengthen your telomeres to keep your vision sharp? That's the health wisdom we're diving into today, inspired by Dr. William Li, a renowned physician and scientist who's spent decades exploring how food can be medicine. Through his insights and the story of Peter, an 88-year-old who swears by this approach, you'll discover practical, life-changing ways to protect your eyes, prevent cataracts, and maybe even turn back the clock a bit. So, grab a cozy seat, and let's journey together. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to join our growing community of health explorers. Let's start with Peter, a sprightly 88-year-old who greets each morning with a twinkle in his eye and a plate full of vibrant foods. He's not just eating to fill his belly. He's eating with purpose, guided by Dr. William Li's wisdom. Peter's story began when he noticed his vision wasn't as crisp as it once was, a common worry as the years pile on. Instead of accepting it as fate, he stumbled across Dr. Li's work, which blends cutting-edge science with the simple power of what's on your fork. Dr. Li, a Harvard-trained expert in angiogenesis, that's the growth of blood vessels, and a pioneer in food as medicine research, believes you can support your body's natural defenses, including your eyes, with every bite. For Peter, this wasn't just theory. It became a daily ritual that he says keeps his cataracts at bay and his spirit young. What's on his plate, you ask? Let's dig in and find out. Your eyes are marvels, but they face challenges as time marches on. Macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss in folks over 55, happens when the macula, that tiny spot in your retina responsible for sharp central vision, starts to break down. Cataracts, meanwhile, cloud the lens, making the world look like it's draped in fog. Science tells us stem cells and telomeres play a big role here. Stem cells are like your body's repair crew, ready to patch up damaged tissue, while telomeres are the protective caps on your DNA, keeping cells youthful. When telomeres shorten, cells age faster, and that repair crew slows down, leaving your eyes vulnerable. But here's the exciting part. Dr. Li's research suggests you can nudge those processes in your favor with the right foods, and Peter's living proof it's worth a try. Picture Peter at his kitchen table, slicing into a juicy orange, its citrus scent filling the air. Oranges aren't just a sweet treat. They're packed with vitamin C, a powerhouse antioxidant that Dr. Li says protects your eyes from oxidative stress, that sneaky damage from free radicals. Peter pairs it with a handful of spinach, dark and leafy, bursting with lutein and zeaxanthin, two nutrients that act like sunglasses for your macula, filtering harmful light. Dr. Li's wisdom shines here. These foods don't just taste good. They fuel your stem cells and help keep those telomeres long and strong. Have you ever thought about what your breakfast could do for your eyes? Maybe it's time to swap that pastry for something greener and brighter. Now, let's talk about Dr. William Li himself, because his background makes this all the more compelling. He's not some distant lab coat. He's a warm, curious soul who's spoken at the Vatican about preventing disease through diet and led global efforts to rethink health. With over 30 years of research, he's shown how foods can trigger your body's healing systems, from growing new blood vessels to regenerating cells. His book, Eat to Beat Disease, is like a roadmap for using your grocery list as a medicine cabinet, and Peter's a fan. Dr. Li's approach isn't about quick fixes. It's about building habits that last, and for your eyes, that means eating to support stem cells and telomeres every single day. Doesn't that feel empowering, knowing you've got that kind of control? Peter's daily routine is a colorful parade of flavors, and it's not hard to join him. Take fatty fish like salmon, which he grills until it's flaky and golden, drizzled with a touch of olive oil. Dr. Lee praises salmon for its omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and nourish retinal cells, keeping them plump and happy. Those omega-3s might even coax your stem cells into action, repairing what's worn out. Then there's Peter's love for walnuts, crunchy and rich, loaded with antioxidants that Dr. Lee says shield your DNA, helping those telomeres stay robust. Ever tried tossing a few walnuts into your salad? It's a small tweak with big rewards, and it's all part of this delicious journey. Let's pause for a moment and think about stem cells. These little wonders are always there, waiting to rebuild what's broken, like the retinal pigment epithelium, a layer in your eye that macular degeneration often damages. Dr. Lee's research highlights how certain foods, like berries, can boost stem cell activity. Peter swears by his morning blueberries, plump and bursting with sweetness, saying they're like eye candy in more ways than one. The anthocyanins in berries, those deep purple pigments, fight inflammation and oxidative stress, giving your stem cells a fighting chance. Dr. Lee's wisdom here is simple. Eat the rainbow, and your eyes will thank you. What's your favorite berry, and could it find a spot on your plate tomorrow? Telomeres, those DNA protectors, deserve some love too. Every time your cells divide, telomeres shorten a bit, like a candle burning down. When they're too short, cells can't repair or renew, and that's when aging, including eye aging, speeds up. But Dr. Lee's found that foods like green tea can slow that burn. Peter sips a warm mug daily, savoring its earthy aroma, and Dr. Lee backs him up, noting that green tea's catechins boost telomerase, an enzyme that helps telomeres stay long. Pair that with a sprinkle of turmeric in your soup, golden and warm, and you've got an anti-inflammatory duo that Peter calls his secret sauce. Curious about adding a splash of green tea to your day? It's a small step with a big payoff. Let's weave this into a story from my own life, because I get it, change can feel daunting. A few years back, my aunt started losing her sharp vision to early macular degeneration. She was a skeptic, but I shared Dr. Lee's ideas with her, and she reluctantly swapped her usual fries for a kale salad with nuts and fish. Months later, she beamed, saying colors looked brighter, and her doctor noticed her condition hadn't worsened. It wasn't a cure, but it was hope, a tangible shift she could feel. That's what Peter's chasing too, and it's what you can chase. Have you got someone in your life who might perk up at this? Maybe share Peter's story with them and see where it leads. Now, let's get practical with some of Peter's go-to meals, because this isn't just talk, it's action. Breakfast might be a bowl of oats topped with berries and a drizzle of honey, warm and comforting, feeding his stem cells with every spoonful. Lunch could be that salmon fillet with a side of steamed broccoli, crisp and green, a feast for his telomeres. Dinner? A hearty veggie stir-fry with olive oil, sizzling in the pan, rich with eye-loving nutrients. Dr. Lee's wisdom is all about variety, so Peter mixes it up, keeping it fun. What's one dish you could tweak tonight to sneak in some of these goodies? You don't need a fancy kitchen, just a willingness to play with your food a bit. Here's a little nudge. This isn't about perfection. Peter didn't overhaul his life overnight. He started with one swap, then another. Dr. Lee's approach is forgiving, encouraging you to enjoy the process. Maybe you're not ready to ditch your coffee for green tea, and that's okay. Start with a handful of spinach in your smoothie, blending it into a creamy emerald delight. Or toss some walnuts into your snack mix, their crunch a reminder you're doing something good. How does that sound for a first step? It's about building a habit that feels like a treat, not a chore, and you're in the driver's seat. Let's circle back to cataracts, because Peter's got a vested interest in keeping his lenses clear. Dr. Lee points to foods like eggs, sunny and golden, rich in lutein, which can cut through that foggy risk. Peter scrambles them with peppers, a burst of color and flavor, and Dr. Lee nods approvingly, noting how vitamin A from peppers supports the cornea too. Then there's kiwi, tangy and bright, a vitamin C bomb that Peter slices into his yogurt. These aren't magic bullets, but they're tools, practical ways to stack the deck in your favor. Ever thought of adding a kiwi to your morning? It's a zesty wake-up call for your eyes. As we journey through this, think about the bigger picture. Your eyes aren't just about seeing, they're about living, connecting, savoring. Peter's 88, but he's not slowing down, thanks to this wisdom. Dr. Lee's research shows that a diet rich in these foods doesn't just help your eyes, it boosts your whole body, from your heart to your brain. It's a ripple effect, one bite at a time. What's one thing you'd love to keep seeing clearly as you age? Hold that image in your mind and let it guide your next meal. We're in this together, figuring it out as we go. Let's wrap this up with a spark of inspiration, because you've got the power to start today. Peter's story, backed by Dr. Lee's decades of insight, isn't just a tale, it's an invitation. Picture yourself at 88, eyes bright, sharing your own wisdom with the folks you love. It starts with a single choice, a crunchy walnut, a sip of green tea, a plate of vibrant veggies. So, take that step, and let's build a community of folks who care about thriving, not just surviving. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with someone who'd light up at the idea, because together, we can spread this life-changing wisdom far and wide. What's your first move going to be? Let's hear it below, and I'll see you in the next one.